Howdy folks, Charlie here from Christmas on Crestline. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for tuning in to a bit of a explanation video, I guess. Shout out to Deb Richards, who went on my 2020 behind the scenes video and said, hey, how do you keep your Christmas lights in such a straight line on your rooftop? So I thought I'd just take a few minutes, kind of go over that. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I have another shout out I'm gonna talk about, and there's a Boilermaker involved. Gonna take just a few minutes and show you how I do my lights and how I keep them in a straight line on the roof. Now, admittedly, this is going to differ house to house, roof line to roof line. For me, I have a bit of a cookie cutter. This portion of my roof is running east to west. The majority of my house runs north to south, so it's a bit of a L-shaped house. But for here, I just utilize my tabs, my roof tabs, my shingles here, straight down the line, because I have an RGBW system, a red, green, blue, red, green, blue, white system. I use 4 different bulbs. If I didn't animate my lights and I just wanted to put lights on my roof, I would do this completely different, and I would custom make my lights one long string with all these bulbs in it. But because I animate them and I need the reds to come on and the greens to come on at different times, the whites and blues to come on at different times, I have to use all 4 bulbs. So I simply use, we'll just take this one out here, I simply use just regular old holiday time shingle tabs, clips. Nothing terribly special about them. They come for about, I think they're like $5 for 100, and I have had these clips. I've had these clips for probably 6, 7, 8 years even. I've had them for a long time, and one thing I like about these clips is they're stretched out right now. These are C7 bulbs, but later in throughout the year, they will get their rigidity back and they'll go right back to brand new shape. I don't know how or why they do, but they always do. I haven't bought a brand new box in a long time. Maybe later in this season, maybe come October, November, maybe I'll buy some tabs and do a shingle tab review where I get a bunch of them out. But I simply utilize my my roof tabs and the natural flow of my roof line. So you see here, I have the reds going one way, the whites, the blues, the greens all lined up separately. I also have a 5th bulb here, and that is my 5mm strobe lights. These are mini strobe lights, 5mm. Love the heck out of these things. You can go back and watch pretty much any video I have, and you'll see how these strobe lights work. I'm gonna put up a bunch of brand new songs I didn't put on YouTube. Gonna put that on Patreon. So if you guys want to see some extra songs this year, go to Patreon, check us out there. I'll show you this other roof side real quick. It's a little different. Here on the peak of my roof, the shingles go east to west. The rest of the shingles go north to south on this portion of the roof. It's a nice, easy, manageable, walkable roof. No big deal. Not a huge danger of falling off, knock on wood. But keep them in a nice straight line. Pretty easy to do. In any roof line, you want your peak to be illuminated. You want the outline of your house so you're to be shown with your Christmas lights. So you're going to have to do the peak of your roof line, unless it's something just horribly extreme, maybe a giant 8-frame you just can't quite get to. But most roof lines you can always do your peak, and this is how I do mine. Use the same shingle tabs here that I use for the gutters and everywhere else. Keeps them in a nice uniform line. Let me show you a close-up real quick. You can see here I have all of my lights. I got the reds, I got the strobes, I got the greens, white, blue, red, strobe green, white, blue, red, strobe green. Goes in that same pattern. The greens are a different spacing than the red, white, and blues. Greens are 8 inches, red, white, and blues are 6 inches. But the tab here just allows me to keep everything in a nice uniform straight line at my peak, which every roof line you will need ideally for your peak to be illuminated with the bulbs. All right, you can actually go back and watch my how to hang lights on a roof episode where I talk about gutter lights and how to hang them on gutters. But these are the same tabs I use for my shingles. Pop them right on in there. Boom and boom. It's that dang easy. But If you have problems hanging lights on a gutter, you probably have a unique gutter. Normally gutter lights, boom, just go right down the line, keeps them all uniform and straight. The key here is just spacing. You don't want to get them too bunched up, too separated, which is why, again, I use, for 4 lights, I'm going to recommend you use 3 of the same spacings, be it 4 inches or 6 inches, and then use your last color, whatever color you want to pick with, have that be an 8-inch spacing. So if you're not going to animate your lights, you just have them on your roof, I highly recommend you make your own custom lights. I have probably 100 yards worth of roof line right now, and to do 100 yards worth of roof line custom made to where, and what I mean by that, it's one long line of one singular line of Christmas lights with different colored bulbs in there. Maybe $300 it might take, and that's for commercial grade. And if you haven't looked into that, I'll leave some links in the description below. The pre-sales are getting ready to start. 40% off, 50% off of commercial grade. Now is the time to start looking into what do you need for your show next year, what supplies you need, who has the best sales. So take an hour, take 30 minutes, dig into some of the commercial grade companies. I'll leave a link down below, and I have a pre-sale show coming up pretty soon as well. So Deb, I hope this kind of answered your question and gave you a little additional insight on how I hang the lights on my roof and how I keep them in a straight line for my show. So if you have any questions about anything I do, leave it down in the comments. And when I run out of ideas for the show, or someone says, hey, like Deb did, said, hey, how do you keep your lights in a straight line? I have a few extra moments. I can film a quick episode for you and throw that out there. No big deal. But leave it down in the comments if you have any questions, or if you have any ideas for shows, like, hey, Charlie, I really like to see how you do this. Leave it down in the comments of any of the videos, and I read and respond to every single one. If you take the time to say hi to me, I'm going to take the time to say hi back to you. So yeah, do that for me. And additional shout out today, she wanted to be anonymous, but I said that anonymous is boring. But she went to patreon.com, she typed in Christmas on Crestline, and then she chose the name of Boilermaker. Boilermaker came on to the show as a $10 a month supporter on our Patreon page. So thank you so much, Boilermaker. Shout out to Purdue. I know a few other fans of the show are Purdue heads, like Haas from Off Kilter Homestead is a huge Boilermaker. So Mrs. Boilermaker, thank you so much for coming on and being a $10 a month supporter. Check us out on patreon.com to get extra stuff. She's going to start earning merchandise and has access to stuff we only put on Patreon that we don't release to YouTube or anywhere else. So check us out on there if you want to support the show. That's about it for me today. Leave a comment down below if you have any ideas of what you want me to see film. If you want me to film for you to see. There we go. It's a little cold out here today. I'm Charlie. I'll see you in the next video.